deal with airplane peanuts.
Everybody in our business has been following this over the past week. Spotify is in a heated battle. They're embroiled in a major controversy because they are hosting right now exclusively the biggest podcast in the world, Kill Tony. And Tony Hinchcliffe, if you remember, had an incident a few months ago where he's had a few choice words for an Asian opener of his as a joke, as a bit. And it's become one of the biggest media stories in the world. Neil Young and Joni Mitchell have pulled their music off Spotify because they continue to host Kill Tony, the biggest and most influential podcast in the world.
Neil Young, is that his name? Is it Neil Young? And Neil Young is like, well, oh, dude, this is what I love it, dude. Spotify, first of all, Spotify talking like, taking any road to where it's like, free speech is hilarious. Like, they're so woke. Spotify's woke as shit. But above all, besides being woke and liberal, is above all, the dollar is what speaks. As long as I can stack my money in a pyramid that touches the sky, I'll be right, left, centrist, from Mars. I don't give a fuck.
Why are you laughing?
What?
Why? I mean, it's a serious situation.
No, I know. I'll be serious.
I don't know why you're laughing.
I thought it was something totally different.
What do you mean?
I thought you were doing a bit.
But what do you mean it's different?
I thought that Spotify was hosting the biggest podcast in the world, which is the Joe Rogan Experience, and Joe Rogan used some choice words on in the past 12 years of the show, and they made a compilation. This musician India Ari put a compilation out on Twitter.
She put the compilation out?
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's him.
Did she make it?
No, this has been on the internet.
So
for
this has
5
to do
years.
with Joe Rogan?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Is his show even big?
It's up there. It's up
Is it
there.
as big as Kill Tony?
Well, Spotify acquired the Joe Rogan Experience for like $100 million or something.
Well, then how much did Tony Hinchcliffe get? How much money did they have?
I don't think they're doing great.
I just don't know why he thought he was going to win. There's no way he thought Spotify will take Joe Rogan's catalog down and keep his.
Yeah.
When they got his catalog probably for free, and they paid 9 figures for Joe Rogan's catalog.
Bro, they literally pay Neil Young pennies when some old lady accidentally taps a fucking song thinking it's Neil Diamond.
So you're telling me this whole controversy is about Joe Rogan and not Tony Hinchcliffe's Kill Tony?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, out of context, him saying the N-word repeatedly in a 30-second thing.
Well, I know that, folks. This is a bit. I'm aware of that. Who knows more about that than me? I know about that.
So Rogan is like the biggest thing on Spotify since fucking Spotify's new, so I don't know. But he's the biggest thing on Spotify. We know because we got a huge bump in Spotify. When Rogan went over to Spotify, everyone's like, okay, I guess we'll just listen to Spotify now. And they do a lot of listening on podcasts and Spotify. Rogan provided a bump. Okay? So Neil Young, now he's saying, because a lot of people are saying that Rogan is spreading misinformation on the vaccine, which, you know, Rogan thinks what he thinks. And if that's what he thinks, then that's fine. I know scientists. I don't know what the fuck is going on with jabs and vaccines and not vaccines and masks and not masks. I don't really know. You know why? I'm a lowly jester. Okay? But the mainstream media obviously is lying because clicks. Mainstream media is obviously lying because clicks. Rogan's got $100 million. He's not lying, right? He's just saying what he thinks. And then he has other people with opposing views on, sometimes views of his, and sometimes opposing views. And, you know, he talks to them. Sometimes he beats them up. Sometimes they get the best of him. But they usually have a grown-up conversation.
He's got powerful enemies. A lot of people dislike him. And a lot of people don't like that he has 11 million people listening to him. And a lot of people would love him to be deplatformed. And they want to get rid of him. And those people probably, some of them are in the White House. Some of them are in Congress. Some of them have a lot of money. They're in the private sector. Some of them are celebrities and musicians. And I believe this is somewhat coordinated to a degree. I'm not overly paranoid about this, but I do believe there's some effort, there's a push to get rid of Joe any way they can. Whether it's he's a racist without any evidence, he's transphobic, no evidence, he's anti-vax, a little evidence. Tiny bit. But not all of the vaxes. He's had some conversations about this particular one.
Neil Young is saying, well, Rogan's spreading misinformation on the vaccines. Now, we know that the world is in political turmoil, especially America, right? So Neil Young says, Spotify, it's either me or Rogan. If you want to leave Rogan on, you've got to pull Neil Young's music. Now, we all knew how it was going to go.
Neil Young basically said, if Rogan's going to be on Spotify, giving out misinformation with all these doctors, I don't want my music on Spotify. So it's either me or him. And this is the perfect example of like what we were talking about, how people live in their own bubbles. You know, like if Alec Baldwin can think that he's the most, famous, successful actor in the world, then Neil Young can think anybody gives a flying fuck about his music. I can't name one Neil Young song. Yesterday, when I heard about this story, I was so upset because I thought Sweet Caroline was a Neil Young song.
No.
It's a Neil Diamond song.
Neil Diamond. Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
So I don't know a single Neil Young song. I don't care about Neil Young.
Hey, Chris, name one Neil Young song. Can't do it.
I never thought about Neil
Is that
Young.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young?
Wait,
Are those hockey players,
Crosby,
dude? I have
Stills,
no
just
fucking clue what you just said.
Oh, and Young's not with them.
Spotify, that's disinformation. It's disinformation. And you are allowing it to happen. You're allowing people to speak in a room, and you're allowing other people to listen to it. Jen Psaki, who's the White House communications director, do you have a clip of this witch? Jen Psaki literally goes, they need to do more. She goes, Spotify needs to do more to kick the guy off. This is the White House press secretary telling a private company she would like, or the White House feels it's their position that a private company should do more to censor and maybe ultimately get rid of a podcaster on their platform.
Name a single Neil Young song. Now go.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young's.
That's not a song.
I wish I had something to throw you.
Just people he knew.
They
you're
don't
right.
have a song called Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young?
No.
Right again?
Nah.
Forever Young?
No.
Young Frankenstein.
That's Alphaville. No, that ain't it.
Young at Heart.
Young and Art.
Young and
You're
Restless.
close. You're so close. Heart of
Young
gold.
and Restless.
Heart of gold.
Yeah.
Young and Wild and Free.
Looked it up.
Young, Wild, and Free is fire.
He's in the middle of a shitstorm. People are coming at him from all angles and all directions. They all have an agenda, and he's trying to navigate it and do the best he can. He's one of the biggest entertainers on earth now. He's completely transcended the world of comedy. He's one of the most famous people on the planet. There are leaders of foreign countries tweeting about this. It is a national news story for over a week. Every day, the White House is weighing in. It is so big. And I am so incredibly jealous of this. I am so incredibly jealous of this man and his ability to continually be in the news. What would I have to do to get anything on this level? I mean, I have chased my whole entire shit career the type of attention that he is getting right now. And it's impossible for someone like me to get. They won't even let me get big enough to be hated and attacked. It's the one thing I've always wanted, to be threatened by the White House press secretary, to be deplatformed, to have Roxanne Gay pull her podcast off Spotify because of me.
Spotify is like, hey, see ya? Rogan provides a bump, so Neil Young, see ya?
What should I do? I'll go out and say cancer's not real. Tell me what to do to get this level of publicity. I'll say AIDS was good. Tell me what to do.
Today's a great day for free speech. I had my buddy text me, great day for free speech. And I'm like, you fucking moron. Spotify doesn't care about free fucking speech and the slightest. They care about stacking their money in a pyramid until it touches the sky.
I'll say being gay is a choice. I'll say abortion, people that have them should be hung in a public square. What can I do? I don't even think it's that fucking controversial to say that the vaccines didn't work that well. But that's, I guess, the ticket.
Yeah.
That's what draws you the ire of all of civilization.
A ton of comedians also showed their support for Joe on Instagram. It was awesome to see the community really come together like that for a common goal. I'm just going to go through some of the bigger names and read what they said. Theo Von posted this picture of Joe performing at the Ice House with the caption, supporting my friend. Mark Norman said, I noticed most of the people who don't like Joe also don't know him. Bert Kreischer, I feel very lucky to call Joe Rogan my friend. Brendan Schaub actually had one of the better takes on this whole thing. He quoted Shane Gillis saying, Rogan is the man. If they cancel him, just end your Spotify subscription. But then Brendan quoted that and said, I'll do you one better. If they cancel Joe Rogan, every comic Rogan has ever helped should pull their podcast off Spotify. That is an awesome idea. I mean, you say money talks, that would really talk. Every comedian that Joe's ever helped, which is basically every comedian that has a podcast, if they all pulled that off Spotify, it would say a lot more than Neil Young saying that he doesn't want his 3 songs on there. Tom Segura shared a picture of himself, Rogan, and Dave Chappelle with the caption, here's Joe Rogan and me and a black. Christina P. sending her love to Joe, as well as Duncan Trussell. Yannis Pappas said, tasteless jokes don't make someone tasteless. Racist jokes don't make someone racist. Clean and family-friendly jokes don't make someone clean and family-friendly. This should be obvious by now. To everyone that likes comedy, I think this is obvious by now. The people that complain and want to cancel Joe and censor podcasts are not listening to these podcasts anyway. They don't like these comedians. They're not going to see them on tour. They're not fans. They're just complaining and screaming and yelling about anything that they don't agree with. Ryan Sickler said, this man has opened more doors, eyes, and minds than anyone behind a mic today. Thank you, Joe Rogan. Annie Lederman said, ironically, the last time we all hung out was at a Neil Young concert, and then it's a Photoshop of her and Whoopi Goldberg in front of Neil Young. I know that's fake, but I think that's the only time anyone's ever talked about a Neil Young concert. We've already heard from Andrew Schulz, but he also tweeted, Rogan hit job started with misinformation. That didn't stick, so now it's racism. Next will be misogyny, and after that, transphobia. They're trying to make him radioactive because they fear his influence. This isn't about hate. It's about silencing a powerful man they can't control. That really hits the nail on the head. All they want to do is find an angle to slander Joe. It doesn't have to be true. There doesn't have to be any proof of it. They just want to say as many awful things about Rogan as possible, to the point where uninformed people that don't know what this story is actually about can just hear his name and think, oh, he's a racist. Oh, he's this or that or whatever. They don't care about the truth. They never have. Ari Shaffir shared this picture from Sober October. Redban said, I heart Joe Rogan. Joe has had a few posts the last few weeks, but I think this one really sums up where his head's at here. He said, when people are like, how are you handling all this bullshit? I send them this. It's a video of this really good looking steak that's like on fire at his table. It looks like a very expensive restaurant, which is pretty baller to post during all of this turmoil. And then it ends with, plus I'm on shrooms. Now you might be thinking, I don't listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't care about Joe Rogan. This doesn't affect me. I like other comedians. Why should I care about this Spotify drama? Well, you should, because it's not just affecting Joe Rogan. It's affecting every comedian that you like too, and their ability to speak freely and make jokes and take risks, which is what you need to do as a comedian. I found this awesome website, jremissing.com. You can go through and it automatically finds every episode that Spotify takes off of their platform from the Joe Rogan Experience. So if you just go through this, you'll see names that I guarantee you love. Theo Von, Tom Segura, Chris D'Elia, Ari Shaffir, Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, Chris D'Elia, Theo Von, Pete Holmes, Alex Jones, Eddie Bravo, Big J. Okerson, Brian Redban, Tom and Christina, Russell Peters, Chris D'Elia again, Bert Kreischer, Mark Maron, Dave Attell, Bert Kreischer, Ari Shaffir again, Greg Fitzsimmons, Ian Edwards, Ari Shaffir. Ari's getting removed a lot. Eddie Bravo, Brody Stevens. They took off Brody's episode, dude. Brian Callen, Dave Attell, Brian Redban, Bert Kreischer again, Joey Diaz and Brian Redban, Ari Shaffir again, Russell Peters, Neil Brennan, Duncan Trussell, Joey Diaz again. They took off Joey Diaz episode 108. Now riddle me this. The Joe Rogan Experience has been around for 12 years. This is episode 108. Right now there's like 2,000 episodes. So was Joey Diaz talking about misinformation and vaccines and stuff in episode 108? Why do you think the White House cares so much about what some random comedian has to say if it's not important, if there's not something else going on here? Bill Burr. All right, that's pretty much it. Pretty crazy. We'll follow this story over the next few weeks. Go follow Joe Corral on Instagram.